Okay, Kenneth, here's your file that you gave me. So I'm going to go into the front view right away, hit Alt-W so I can zoom in on it, maximize the front view. I select your pants here, whatever this your hips are, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the other side. We don't really need it, and I'll show you how to use symmetry. I'm going to hit F3 to go into wireframe. Zoom in, and one of the reasons why your symmetry isn't working is because, I'll show you, by applying the symmetry modifier. Okay, now if you just use mirror and then rotate, you see you can find it, but the reason why yours isn't working is because look at where the center is. The center is not at 0. So I'm going to delete this symmetry, okay, and then let's look at your object. Let's change the center. I'll hit G to show the grid. Then I come over here to hierarchy, affect pivot only, and I'm going to move the pivot point to X0. Okay, turn it off. Make sure you turn it off, otherwise you'll end up moving the pivot point again. Now, if I go back into modify and add the symmetry modifier, and use mirror and rotate it. Go to center, flip, there it is. Okay, now there's another problem with this geometry. I'm going to turn symmetry off for now, and that is your vertices are not in the center. They're not lined up on X0. So we're going to go back into sub-object mode, hit Alt-W, go into my top view, hit Alt-W again to maximize my top view, and I'm going to move these vertices. All these vertices should be on 0. We'll have to move them. We can move them one at a time. You could also use make planar, but that's another problem. Let me go into move and then 0 and do this with all of them. 0. Let me get that cursor out of the way. 0. Zoom in on it a little bit. Pan up, make sure that's on 0. So you've got a whole bunch of them in here that are not on 0, and this is what happens when you don't model using all 4 viewports. You end up using just one, and then you don't realize how inaccurate or incorrect your model might be because you're only working in one viewport. So you get the idea. Now you can just go in and fix all of these vertices so that they are on X0. Alright. And then I come down here, do the same thing with all of these. And there is a faster way to do this. Like I said, you could use make planar, but you have to play around with it a little bit. And it will collapse all the vertices, but then you still have to do a little bit of correction because some might overshoot. Alright, so this is very time consuming, but we're almost done. There weren't that many vertices in here. Alright, so now I hit Control-Shift-Z, center everything, hit Alt-W, go back to my 4 viewports. Now, when I go back into object mode and turn on symmetry, let's see, and it's not updating. There we go. Now it should be perfect. Okay, so that's how you work with symmetry.